So library instruction, this is for the public administration survey class with Dr. Velasco. My name is Jocelyn Sandlin and I'm the student success librarian. These are the things we'll be going over today. We're going to take a look at quick search. We're going to take a look at interlibrary loan. We're going to take a look at research guides, and we're going to take a look at reference management as well. First, let's talk about what libraries are. I'm sure you guys, since y'all are grad students, have been to our library. Our library has 3 stories full of media and space. We have 8 study rooms free to use that include technology. We have newspapers, magazines, periodicals. We have reference materials on the first floor, encyclopedias, dictionaries. And the 3rd floor is where you're going to find most of the books that are available to check out. Something else that we have is reserves. So several of your textbooks can actually be found in the library for you to use for free. You can even scan pages and stuff like that you need for class. We also have DVDs. We have hundreds, if not thousands of DVDs. I'm always surprised by how many DVDs we have in our collection. Moving right along. I love this quote by Neil Gaiman that Google can bring you back 100,000 answers, but a librarian can bring you back the right one. So my job here is to give you guys the tools that you need to be excellent researchers. And as grad students, you guys are probably already great researchers, so this will probably be a refresher for most of you guys. Let's take a look at quick search. So once you're on the library's landing page, it's going to be this big section here, quick search. So let's say I need an article about Voltaire. Sweet. Okay, so as you can see, we have quite a few results. There are several ways for you to narrow down your search results. First thing we can do is to change our field, select a field. I'm going to go subject terms because I want to find articles that are about Voltaire. Let's see how that narrows our search results just by selecting that. That narrows it a little bit. We still have a lot of results to look through. So the next thing we would want to do is full text. That cut my results in like half just by selecting full text. Next thing we want to do, select scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. Now we're down to about 2,000 results. That's still a lot. A couple things we can do from here. We can do available in library collection. That didn't narrow it a whole lot. Let's keep going. Next thing I want to do, this publication date is a pretty wide range. Let's say your professor only wants you to look at sources that are less than 10 years old. So I would insert 2012 into the date range. That narrows it down to about 500 results. So that's pretty good. Yet another way we can narrow it down is by going to source types. Or you need a magazine source for whatever reason. You can select magazines and you can select update. And then we have about 19 results. The issue here is that if you don't speak French, some of these articles are not going to be great. So you could scroll through and choose which ones are in English or a language that you can read. But another thing that you can do is if you go to advanced search, you can select your language here at the bottom. So if I only want results in English, I would highlight English and select search. I'm only going to have one result. It still looks like it's in French, but we can go to linked full text and we can check. And that looks like it is in English. So if I only want to see things that are actually in the library, I would highlight this from the library landing page, select search the physical catalog only. And that shows us having about 122 items. Quick search. To sum up, it's a great way to start your research. If you don't know where to start, go to quick search and you can play around with it. Our library director, Betsy Evans, always says that you can't break it. So you play around with it, start selecting different limiters and seeing what works for you to find your results. Next, we're going to take a look at ILL, which stands for interlibrary loan. There are a few things to know about interlibrary loan. So first thing is, what even is interlibrary loan? Interlibrary loan lets you borrow materials through our library. So in other words, we, the library, checks out materials from another library on your behalf so that you can use them. And there's a couple different ways to do that. We can go through quick search, what we've already looked at, and you would see an icon that says request item through interlibrary loan. Another way to do that is through your ILL account. So if we go back to the library website, you can actually go up here to accounts and apps, and you can go to your interlibrary loan account. You would log in with your Sul Ross info, and it would show you the request you've already put in, and then you can create a request from there. Let me show you how to do it from quick search as well. So once again, library's landing page. Let's say I'm looking for a book about the social contract. Okay, I have access to this one and this one and this one and this one. That's a reference book. Of course, I chose something that we have lots of access to. Okay, here we go. This result right here. Request this item through interlibrary loan. I love doing it this way because when you click the request icon, automatically populates with most of the information that you need. You want to fill in as much information as you can. The only thing I would need to add is my A number before I can submit that request. If you ever have any issues requesting items, call or email the library and we will be happy to walk you through those requests. We know that it can be challenging sometimes. Those are the two ways to request. And to sum up, interlibrary loan gets you access to any library anywhere. If we don't have it, we will get it for you. And like I've said a few times, we are happy to help you guys to complete that process for requesting an item. Just reach out and we'll be glad to help. Research guides help you browse databases for your subject. They are librarian curated. We actually go through and pick and choose databases and sources that we know are going to be helpful to you guys. If we go back to the library website, you can go up to research help up here at the top, and you can go to research guides. There's a few ways you can look at it. Course guides, a lot of those are going to be for intro level courses, English 101. We even have library orientation down here. We have course guides, we have subject or department guides, which is going to be helpful for us here. We'll look at political science first, and then we'll look at public admin. So political science research guide, this has some information about getting started. Ignore the typo, we'll fix those things. The biggest, most important tab that you really want to look at here is the suggested databases. And you can see here that there's some really good recommended databases for a political science class or research project. So these actually link directly to those databases or sources. I'm going to check out this index here, and then I would be searching only this database. So let's search Voltaire again and just see what kind of results we get. We only get 10 results here, but these are all going to be really good sources for you guys to use. They're from a great database that is already dealing with political science topics. Again, you see that icon to request those items through interlibrary loan. And if you click that link, the information is going to already be there for you. So it's really easy to request those items. And I'll show you a different way to navigate to the same area. So up here at the top, you can go to by subject, and we looked at political science. Now we'll look at public admin, and I would go to the research guide. This one actually has the right title. It's pretty good. Suggested databases. Here we have 2 recommended sources for you guys to get started. I'm going to check out this policy documents. Okay, this is pretty good. This is through Project Muse, and we get quick and easy access to this policy documents and reports, and you can search within the book. It's pretty cool, or you can browse the different chapters of the book as well. If we go back, you also have access to the Chronicle of Higher Education. Chronicle of Higher Education is fun. You can read news, you can look at job postings, you can do lots of exploration dealing with higher ed through this source. So another really good source, especially for those in public admin who might end up working in higher ed. And to sum up, we've already talked about that research guides are librarian curated to help you explore different databases and sources. Last topic is reference management. Okay, so this is a great way to keep track of your resources. So when you're doing a research project, you're looking at upwards of 10 resources, sometimes even 20, 30, 50 resources. So you want a way to keep track of all of your sources so that you can go back to them, so that you can have their citation, and so that you can create your works cited or reference page very easily. There are lots of options. You can save a citation in a document. You can just copy and paste that citation into a Word document, Google document, whatever you may have, and you will usually have the permalink in there, the permanent link, so that you can access that document again later. You can download the item and save it in a folder on your computer. You can print the item, which you can totally do for free at the library. One of my favorite ways is to use the Google Scholar button. The Google Scholar button, the only downside is that it's only through Chrome. You have to use Chrome. You can't use Safari or Firefox with it. You would need to use the Chrome browser. If I go to Chrome, I can actually search Google Scholar button. I'll select Add to Chrome and add extension. I'm going to pin it to my
browser so I can always access it later. I can go to the library's website and let's say I'm searching social contract. I like this first title. I'll do PDF full text. And I don't have time to read it now, so I can go to the Google Scholar button and I can star it to save it to my library. I can access my library later and find the articles that I need.
One last thing I want to show you guys is how to use your phone to search. It's very similar to the way that you would do on your computer. It just also works really well on your phone, and there's a few things that I want to point out to be able to find those limiters as well.
Going to the library website, I would find quick search and let's do a search for public administration. Once it loads, we'll start finding limiters by clicking the two arrows on the left-hand side. I'm going to start by narrowing it to full text. Then I'll go to scholarly or peer-reviewed. And finally, I'll select available in library collection. We're still dealing with almost 3 million results, so let's narrow it down even further by narrowing the publication date range to the last 10 years. Still dealing with over 1 million results, so we're going to change this to a subject search. That narrowed it down a lot, but let's keep going. Let's do a phrase search rather than keywords. Still almost 100,000 results, so let's keep going and make it about public administration in libraries. About 1,000 results, pretty good. And then let's limit it to libraries in Texas. Then we only have 5 results. That's very few, and we would hope that those are all going to be good sources for my project.
Okay, that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for listening. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SRSU Library. You can send me an email. You can give me a call. You can follow my Twitter at Jocelyn Sandlin as well. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much.